This over here is a lemon tree. You can see the big lemons attached to it. Those are its fruit. You can see them right over there. You remember what I told you before about um, discerning the root? If you don't see the roots directly, you can check the fruit. You take a sample from the fruit. And if a few of the samples show a bad quality into the core, then you know that that tree is bad. I've used it as a parable for spiritual discernment. I explained before that everything that unfolds on the earth either has a supernatural or a paranormal root. Whether it comes to relationships or finances, whatever it is, you have natural physical cycles, like for example, the cycle of water that forms clouds, then there's rain. I'm not talking about those things. Everything in the social world that works out has either a supernatural or a paranormal root. Supernatural means from the Holy Spirit, paranormal from demonic spirits. There is no other way around it. Sometimes the Holy Spirit is moving and unclean spirits will counterfeit what the Holy Spirit is doing. So it may appear as if both supernatural as well as paranormal are cooperating. That's not true. There are even pastors out there that say that sometimes Satan and God are on the same side. Absolutely not true at all. But okay, just remember that you don't have to know everything, okay, about the situation. You don't. Just look at the bigger picture, look at the context. By looking at the context, you can often already see the root of it. Remember, the paranormal can only function through patterns and cycles. Satan can only trap you in a pattern. Patterns are all he has. That's it. So, anytime you notice a pattern developing around you, and that pattern seems to get a hold on you, then you know it's the enemy at work. Christ will often disrupt patterns to free you. And that's why worldly people often don't want to serve Christ, because Christ does not operate on their terms. But their terms are wrong because they're not Christ centered. Christ is the Lord, He's the King of Kings, He's the real King. Okay? But worldly people, they have their expectations that they don't examine, and they want everything on their terms to validate their expectations. But who conditioned worldly people? The rulers of this world, who are demons, who have worked through the elites who worship the beast. So the world has been conditioned. But I said the world has been raised by Satan. Worldly people are raised by Satan. That's how you can see it. So if Satan raised you, he will raise you to validate himself. He will raise you in a pattern. So when you become born again, you need to forfeit those patterns and learn to rely on Christ. Worldly people, those who don't have Holy Spirit, they cannot discern things from the Holy Spirit. Why not? Because they are stuck with their own terms. Don't you know that even worldly people amongst each other can't get along often? That's why you have so much conflict in the world. Why? Because they're all holding on to their terms that they don't want to check. So again, you recognize a tree by its fruit. But when it comes to spiritual things, you can see the fruit, but if you only look at the fruit and you don't know how to discern a fruit, that you can fall trap to deception. That's why I tell you to look at to look at the context. If you see a tree like this in house construct like this, it can happen. Because look around. There are many more such trees around here. But if, for example, you see a tree like this and it's in the middle of a field where there's no other vegetation yet it's growing, then you know it's a deception. Then you know that the tree is planted there to deceive you. That means that that tree probably has some issues with it. Look at the context. I'm not adding what Christ said, I'm just amplifying what Christ said. Look at the context. Because when it comes to discerning spiritual things, you need to look at the context carefully. Well, that's it for now. Take my time to record this for you. I'll be making more videos for you also. Now it's time for some tea with some honey over here. Keep agreeing with Christ and be at peace.